work harder, put in effort, put in more energy. That's what we grew up hearing was the secret to becoming successful and wealthy. But have you ever noticed that the person in the street sweating the most, putting in the most energy, putting in the highest effort is not always the one making the most money in our community? If raw effort alone determined income, then construction workers who carry cement, sand, concrete, who sweat day in, day out for morning till evening will have been the ones with the greatest income. Those mothers in the street carrying heavy basins under the rain, under the sun, selling will have been making the highest money in our communities. But in reality, that is far from the fact. Have you ever wondered why? In this video, we are going to breaking that down. We are going to look at two key points on why the people sweating the most, putting in the most effort, are not necessarily the ones making the most money. So watch to the end. The blunt truth about the matter is that the marketplace does not care about how tired you are at the end of the day. There are two key things that matter in the marketplace. Two key things. The first is, how useful are you? Anyway, let's be clear. We are not saying that effort does not matter. Effort matters. Discipline is non-negotiable. Persistence is the foundation. But effort without direction is a waste. Now, imagine two people in the marketplace that have been employed to work for 10 hours. One has been employed to dig a toilet, and he's digging the toilet for 10 hours using a dig axe, a spade, and all the like. And he uses 10 hours to dig a toilet. Then another person is employed to use 10 hours to develop a scheme that will make a company double their income. Guess who will make more money at the end of that 10 hours? Each of them will put in effort. Each of them will sweat. But guess who will make more money at the end of that 10 hours? Now, imagine these two other people. One is assigned to carry blocks from point A to point B, and he has 5 hours to do that. Then another person is assigned to design a software that will facilitate tasks for 500 people. Guess who is going to make more money at the end of that 5 hours? You see, all of them will put in energy, all of them will put in time, but the outcome will be different. So it is not really about working hard, it's by being useful. This is very easy to explain. Value is measured by the scale and the difficulty of the problem you solve, and not by the amount of sweat you drop. The market rewards three things. The first is what you do. The second is how well you do it. The third, how easy it is for you to be replaced. If it's not easy to find a replacement, then the value you provide is very high, and the market is going to pay you well for it. So the question for you listening to this video will be that, how do I make myself more valuable to the market? How do I make the market pay me more with time? We are going to look at that in the next segment of this video. Watch till the end. There are 4 dimensions to this. The first is solving a costly problem. That's fixing a pain point that takes away sleep from people. Yes, when you solve a problem that takes away sleep from people, the market is going to pay you well for that. The next is buying back time, delivering speed, creating a way that will help people to buy back their time, that will help people to achieve a task in a shorter time. Most people say that time is money, but in reality, time is greater than money. And one thing I've noticed about rich people is that rich people can buy time, can use money to buy time, meanwhile poor people who want to sell their time for money. at the end of the day, time is greater than money. You can make extra money, but it's difficult to buy extra time. So if you can create a system that makes people obtain results faster, you attract rich people because rich people have the money and they want it to exchange it for time, to have more time. I can still remember back in the days, um, we can take we can prefer to take a distance of 2 hours in order to preserve 200 francs instead of paying a taxi. You see, because we had the poor mindset, the poor man's mindset that the money is more important than time. But I've come to realize that somebody with a rich mindset is prepared to spend much money in order to save time because time is more valuable than money. The next dimension of making yourself more valuable in the marketplace is creating convenience for people, making life easy for people. Yes, when you can create a system that makes life easier for people, then you attract value and the market pays people for that. I remember initially when I wanted to buy goods from China, I had to travel to my bank where I created my prepaid account and go and stand on a line to make a deposit into my account, then travel back before making my purchase. So when I saw an advert online that I could use the online a third party platform, use more money to deposit my money in that platform and make my purchase without leaving the house, that made life much more easier for me. It costed much, but it made life easier for me. So if you can provide people with convenience, if you find a way to provide people with convenience to make life easier for people, the next dimension is skill transfer. If you have a skill that you can make someone to double their income, that's a high value skill. People will be ready to pay you so that they can get that skill in order to double their income. Imagine having a skill that you can help a company to double their monthly revenue. That's a high value skill that the market pays for. So we need to stop focusing on just working harder and start thinking more on how do I make myself irreplaceable at what I do? Which bigger problem can I solve? So that's the first point. Value, usefulness. We now move to the next point. The second most important thing the market cares about is visibility. Think about it. Imagine a woman in your quarter who makes the best pop-off in town, but only her neighbors know about her. And now think about another uh, woman across the street who is average at making pop-off, but she constantly posts it on her status. She constantly makes videos on it. She is constantly online advertising herself. In fact, she has a signboard at the entrance of town indicating that she is there. Who do you think will make the most sale? A teacher may have a life-changing knowledge, but never shares it beyond his classroom. A tailor may produce excellent designs, may be the best in town, but does not share it, but does not share her work online. Maybe only those in her church, only those in her neighborhood, in her quarter know about her. A businessman may have life-changing products, but does not tell people about it. Meanwhile, there's someone across the street who is average at the same thing but is spreading the news at the top of the mountain, is everywhere on social media. That person spreading the news is likely to attract more opportunities. The lesson is simple. Value matters, but value alone is not enough. So what's the takeaway from this video? Your income is determined by two things. One, the value you create, that is your usefulness. And two, how many people can benefit from it, how many people know about it. Don't just focus on becoming better, don't just focus on putting in more effort, also focus on becoming more useful and more visible, because the people who need your solution can only benefit from it if they know you existed. And there are so many people that need to know that you exist in order to obtain the solution you are offering. What is one thing you do well that only your family members know about it? What are you going to do so that others can find out? Answer that at the comment section. Is the CEO of Kameh Supplies. We are headed for the top, for the bottom is crowded. Kindly like, share, comment for others to discover these tips we are sharing. Subscribe to our page if you are not yet subscribed. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Bye bye.